Don't think that you have to do things on your own. There are many ways for you to get moving. You know, there's fad diets and then there's fad workout plans. Before I say anything about any program, I believe that as Americans, we just need to move more. And so each year, Americans are getting more and more obese, and we try to blame a lot of different things. And so we'll blame alcohol consumption, we'll blame red meat, we'll blame sugar, the list goes on and on. But if we look at these numbers, 2022, we're not at the peak consumption of any of these. Alcohol consumption reached its peak many, many years ago, sugar as well, even red meat. And so if it's not all those things, what is it? Well, on the nutrition side, I just believe, generally speaking, it's an overconsumption issue, not really what we're consuming. But on the other end, I just don't think humans move as much as they should move. And so if you're looking for the exact program you should follow, I believe that too many of us are now just dragging our feet. Perfect is the enemy of good enough. And so rather than asking what exactly should I be doing, just go do something. I would much rather you never pay me $1 to be your coach, as long as you're just going and walking and getting outside. If you have kids, playing games with your kids. If you're a young adult, going and playing pickup basketball at the park, whatever it may be. So stop waiting for things to be perfect. Stop waiting to find the perfect gym to go to. Stop waiting for the perfect coach to come along. America is in a pandemic of obesity, and we need to correct that ship, right that ship, and the first thing is just more movement. But I'm a coach, and typically coaches are narcissists, and I'm a big old narcissist, so I believe my programming is better than everyone else's programming, and I believe there's a lot of trash programming out there, so I'm gonna rip into some programs. There's a lot of these fads that are coming out, whether this is a program or whether it's a specific coach. There's a couple of red flags I think we can look for. And so we've got the first step down, you're out and you're moving more, and now you want a little bit extra and you're looking for a coach or a template to follow. If this individual is telling you that their program is a way that you're not going, that they're going to prevent injuries, I don't know, let's say that they're saying if you do their programming, your knees will be bulletproof. Just an example. Don't follow that program. First and foremost, we want generalized fitness, we want health, we want wellness, we want to move well. Why do we need a program specifically tailored to my knees or my hips or my low back or whatever it may be? Secondly, if we actually start looking at these programs, they're not giving us anything new. We've already known all this stuff. We know the exercises that are going to help with specific joint angles. Why on earth would I go and spend money on someone who tells me information that's already on the internet for free? I think we can also look at some individuals who are touting extremes. And so if you have someone who is showing all of their athletes doing ridiculous exercises, standing on Bosu balls, using those new stupid water baskets or whatever the heck those things are, chances are they have no idea what they're talking about. I would highly suggest you go look up a certain doctor. He's based out of Atlanta, and he is known on Instagram for having some of the most ridiculous looking exercises. Sells a book on how his method is correct. The book's several $100s, and basically showing the complete opposite of what any type of science is telling us that is actually effective for muscle growth and for strength and wellness. So look at the extremes. If they're selling a very specific whatever, or if they're showing exercises that just look absolutely goofy or creative or whatever it is, push those aside. Does that mean that all programs are terrible? Absolutely not. There's many individuals who thrive off of these generic, you pay $30 to $40 a month. Everyone does the same thing and you just follow along. Why are these so effective? Number one, individuals feel like they're part of a community. So a lot of these generic programs are going to have Facebook groups, Instagram, whatever, and people feel connected. Number two, it's fun and it's engaging. And so the individual who needs that constant change or needs sort of that competitive side where they can compare themselves to other people who are doing the program, they're going to stick with that program. As a coach who trains individuals, years ago I used to think this was a little bit silly, and why would someone pay for just a generic program when they could have the expertise of a single coach working on their needs. And then I started looking around and realizing that more humans just need to move. So do I want you to come and work with me remotely? Do I want you to come to our facilities and work with our coaches in person? Absolutely. But if you're someone who financially can't make that work, don't think that you have to do things on your own. There are many ways for you to get moving. Now let's look at the individuals when it comes to no program works for me. I hear this all the time, and so whether we're taking sort of the CrossFit, just templated, everyone does the same thing, or we're looking at these experts who are showing you how to bulletproof your knees, why do people fall off? The biggest thing is that humans just are very impatient. And so we turn on social media and we see these outlandish 3-month transformations, and we have individuals telling us that it's 100% natural and they're absolutely not on steroids, and they 100% are on steroids. If anyone ever tells you they're not on steroids, they're on steroids. I mean, come on, you don't have to tell someone you're not on steroids. If you look at me, you can pretty much tell that I am, chances are, not on steroids. You look at someone who looks like they're on steroids and they're hell-bent on telling you they're not on steroids, chances are they are on steroids. That's besides the point. Anyway, you'll take these individuals, they understand that they're basically getting you to buy in on a program because of how they look. You're gonna buy into this program, you're gonna follow along for a couple weeks, all of a sudden you don't look like them, and you're convinced it's you, you're convinced it's the program, you're convinced there's no other variables involved in why they look great and you don't, and then you stop that program. And then you find another individual who is telling you you can do whatever it is they're trying to sell you on. You follow that program for another month or so, you're not getting the results. What do? You go and you buy the next program, and we call these individuals program hoppers. And so they're always convinced that it's the program or it's the coach or it's whatever it is. And we just have to take a step back and we have to say, chances are we're just too weak and too young yet to be able to experience any legitimate body transformations. And so if you talk to any individual who is extremely strong and is sort of that elite, that top 1%, they're not going to be telling you, unless they're trying to sell you something, they're not going to be telling you some secret formula of it was this exact nutrition plan I followed, or I did some secret corrective exercise or whatever. They're just going to tell you they were consistent and it took a lot of hard work. And I'm sure we've all heard this before, but they mean that took them consistency over 5, 10 years, even more. But humans don't like to wait. We don't like the long game. And so we want something that's going to happen in a few weeks, a few months, or even in a given year. And so the more extreme, the more lofty my goals, the longer it's going to take. But that's a hard pill to swallow. So I understand the frustration. I wish there was an easier solution. I wish that there was a way that I could say you can bypass those years and years and years of hard work and just get right to whatever goal that you want. And if any of you have that secret, please pass it on, because I haven't found it yet.